what's up everyone, it's SpeedSuperSonic bringing you guys another video, and in this video today we are here to talk more about movies. And not entirely Sonic based, that's right, yes we are talking about the Sonic movie too, but also we're here to talk about the Super Mario movie coming from Illumination. If you guys don't know, there was a Nintendo Direct where there was a bunch of stuff announced, including a giant info drop about the Mario movie. Obviously the big talk of the town is the cast for that movie, and we'll definitely get into the cast as that is a big controversy going on right now in relation to it. But naturally, ever since this happened and it was confirmed that the movie will be coming out in December of 2022, the same year the Sonic movie 2 comes out, the conversation of which will be better, which will do better, it has sparked, and whether you like it or not, it is a conversation that will be taking place a lot until both of these movies are said and done. And I thought I'd get ahead of the curve and talk about this because I think it's a very interesting topic, and I wanted to give a perspective to the discussion not only in relation to the Mario movie, but how the two films collide and the differences between the two and how it's kind of comparing apples and oranges but kind of not at the same time. I'm very much so, because I run a Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel, by default placed in a big video game community. I've stated this a lot on my channel, I am not a video game person, I'm not too knowledgeable, that's why I don't really talk about the logistics all that much, and I don't want to sound stupid because I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I do sound stupid a lot, I can understand, yeah. But I'm very well versed in movies, I will say that with my whole chest, because this is something I'm very passionate about. And the way that some Sonic fans approach this movie is through the lens of a video game fan, and it's not entirely how movies work. I kind of wanted to show how this is going to go down for both of these movies. We're going to be comparing the Sonic movie 2 and the Super Mario movie from Illumination and seeing which will be better, and also which will do better. So without any further ado, let's get started. First, I want to knock this one out first because this will be the shortest discussion, because we are going to be talking about quality and like the actual stuff that goes on with the movie, mainly in this video. I want to talk about how the movies will do financially. A big thing will be who will make the most money, who will bring home the most box office dollars, who will win. And as much as it hurts to say this, and as much as like I wish this wasn't the case, the Mario movie is gonna blow the Sonic movie out of the water, and that just kind of sucks to say. I know a lot of you are like, but there's Tails and Knuckles in it, that's gonna be so cool, man. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. For Sonic fans, I'm sure general audiences are gonna love that as well. There's an entirely new variable, putting those two on a poster alongside Sonic. It's gonna sell so many tickets, it's gonna do great. But we also have to remember that Illumination is making the Mario movie, and I'm not going to be talking about the quality of Illumination just yet. We're getting into that when we talk about like the actual films itself. But if you know anything about Illumination and their movies, they are monsters at marketing and advertising, and their box office backs it up very well. The Sonic movie didn't make more money than any Illumination movie. Illumination movies, like a lot of the time, push or are above $1 billion at the box office. That is insane, especially for animated movies. Say what you will about the quality of Illumination, which, spoiler alert, I do not like any Illumination movie. It's very impressive, and it's backed up by their incredible marketing campaign. Do you guys remember that Grinch movie that they made a couple years back? It was everywhere. They will put that on every food product. They're going to make toys, billboards, commercials, celebrity tie-ins. They're going to do the most when it comes to promoting this movie. It's going to be insane. It's going to be on your Happy Meals. It's going to be on everything. Not just that, but it's Mario, the most popular video game franchise of all time. And the giant viral moment that it just had with its cast announcement, the absolute stacked cast, it's already in people's minds, and people are already on the edge of their seats to see what this is going to look like. Yes, the Sonic movie is going to do well, I believe. I think it will do better than the first. Also, we have to take into account that the first movie didn't have a proper Chinese release and a Japan release. Both were on streaming services and able to rent by the time they were put in movie theaters. There was no point in going to see it. I think in addition to its Chinese release and a proper Japan release, it will do better than the first, in addition to all the new stuff that they're adding, and I think the more freedom that they've been given, also the addition of the Lego Batman movie writer, I think is going to up the competence of this in comparison to the first. I do think that both will bring in big box office dollars. It's just because of Illumination, it's gonna make more. If this was like a Sony Pictures animated movie, different story. I think Sonic could easily overtake Mario. It's only because Illumination is such a powerhouse when it comes to box office and their marketing campaign. It's just, that's why I think it's just gonna do better. But that takes us into our next section. I do not at all think that the movie will be better than the Sonic movie. I think the Sonic movie will be an infinitely better movie than the Mario movie. I want to talk about the Sonic movie. Every movie in Hollywood, you can say this about any movie, oh, they're both Hollywood movies. Yeah, that's how movies work. They're made to make money, but there also needs to be passion and expertise and competence behind what you're making. The Sonic movie, even though, yes, the rights were passed around a bunch from Sony to Paramount, the movie had to be pitched. When Tim Miller and Jeff Fowler were attached to the movie as executive producer and director, they had to go around pitching the movie. Sony lost confidence in the Sonic movie. They didn't think it would do good. They shopped the rights to Paramount. They had to pitch their movie. They had a genuine passion for telling the story, and they wanted to tell it. They wanted to do new things with the way they portrayed speed, the characterization, the heart. That's the biggest stuff that goes into the Sonic movie, and that's why people love it. Not just the cool action and the way they utilize the speed of Sonic, but also just the way the characters are in the movie, and that's the biggest thing. There was genuine passion and effort by Jeff Fowler and the people working on it to make a good movie. Even that design, which yes, maybe was a misfire, even the design would have impacted the story or the writing at all. It's just the design. It would have made the movie harder to watch and the character design would have been jarring, yes, but that's fixed now and that's in the past. All movies, especially big blockbuster, big franchise movies, are made to make money, but there does need to be passion, and you see those in movies. Like the generic answer is everybody says to movies, Marvel movies, they do care, and that's part of the reason why they are so successful and good. I cannot say the same about Illumination. Illumination is the definition of a corporate think tank. Every movie they make is meticulously directed by a board to make the most marketable, easy to approach, easy to consume movie as possible for families. Minions are the prime example of this. There is no genuine passion or heart that goes into it. It's how can we make the most jokes? How can we make the most memes? How can we sell the most product? How can we merchandise this? How can we merchandise that? I think the first Despicable Me is decent, but they haven't made anything remotely decent since. Everything has just been bad. Of course, that's my opinion, but a lot of people agree with me. The animation, and while I'm not a well-versed expert in it, is incredibly simplistic and easy to consume. The Mario movie, by Illumination in particular, is going to be the biggest example of this. This isn't just Illumination like, hey, let's make a new movie that we can put a bunch of pop songs in and that we can have marketable characters that we can merchandise and put on posters. That is part of it, but this is also a joint effort from Nintendo. Nintendo, one of, if not the world's biggest video game company, is also working on this movie. Fun fact, this goes a little deeper than just Illumination and this movie. You guys know Comcast? They own Universal. Who does Universal own? Illumination. Comcast and Nintendo have been working together very closely lately, opening Nintendo theme parks in Universal Studios, and they can also make Super Mario and Nintendo movies to by proxy promote their theme parks. This is just a giant scheme from Nintendo and Universal to help both of their brands to make the most money as possible. This movie isn't just to tell a good story, it's to sell a theme park, it's to sell merchandise, it's to sell Happy Meals. This movie isn't made to tell a great story. And while I'm sure there are creatives on this movie and animators on this movie who are going to work their hardest to make the best thing they can, there's only so much you can do when you have the talent around it, which brings us to that. The Sonic movie was composed of a lot of unknowns before. People who weren't too well versed or experienced, especially in this realm of big blockbuster movies, such as Jeff Fowler, the writers, and with this new one, all those people are returning in addition to a new writer who's worked on the Lego Batman movie. I think the original Sonic movie did everything it needed to do. I think it was a little understuffed. I think it lacked a little bit of meat on the bones. It could have told a bit of a larger story, dived a bit more into the characters, but as a whole, I think it accomplished its mission, and I think as a consensus, a lot of critics and fans believe it did as well, in telling a good story about friendship, about needing somebody, and they did a good job at setting up what is intended to be a franchise, and is going to be, because we are getting a second movie. Based off of what they've showed me, and based off what this new writer has showed me with the Lego Batman movie, they have a lot of expertise. The first movie was good, they have proved themselves. Also, this kind of ties back to their actual genuine passion for the movie. These writers have gone on like talk shows and like podcasts and have talked so passionately about this movie, how cool it is, how fun it was to make, how excited they are for people to see it. They are genuine fans of this character and this universe that they're creating, and they want to make the best thing possible. They are also trying to get more jobs. I think some of them have secured Pink Panther jobs, like the director, and the writers are going to be working on a new Ace Ventura movie with Jim Carrey. They're trying to continue to prove themselves because they are still relatively unknown. With the people who are working on the Mario movie, however, like I said, is a big corporate think tank, and there's so many executives who are going to be involved with with the making of this movie. Not just that, but the directors of this movie worked on a lot of DC cartoons that were on Cartoon Network, such as Teen Titans Go and the Teen Titans Go movie, which is its own thing and is going to show a lot. And not just that, but the writer scares me the most. The writer worked on the Lego Movie 2, which I felt was extremely dull in comparison to the original, probably due to the lack of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, at least being as involved as they were with the first one. But the thing that scares me the most is that he's also the writer on Minions: The Rise of Gru, and if you guys don't know, Minions and all of those movies, aside from the first Despicable Me, I can't stand, especially Minions, and he's writing the sequel to that, and I am not looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it because you can't really form an opinion on something you don't consume. Not just that, but the producers scare me as well, because they are going to be saying, hey, do this, do this, do this, which includes the CEO of Illumination, like the head of Illumination, who usually handles, you know, business and stuff, is producing the movie. Not just that, but the thing that people take as a positive is Shigeru Miyamoto. Shigeru Miyamoto has made some amazing games, some fantastic titles, some of the most legendary video games of all time. I respect him, I think he's great at what he does, but this is not his world. Filmmaking and video games are two completely different things. I know he's not a writer, I know he's not a director, but he's still involved with the filmmaking process, and he will be limiting what they can do with his characters, because these are his characters, these are his babies. But I've seen a lot of people say, well, he's involved, so it has to be good. It's a completely different medium. Shigeru Miyamoto has been known for limiting story, limiting character in his games, which may be for the best, but you can't do that with a movie, and especially limit what they can do with Mario. They should be taking Mario in a new direction, in a creative direction, and I think that him being involved will limit some of that creativity that is allowed with it. This is very much so Nintendo and Illumination's movie. This isn't just an Illumination movie, which I would still be scared about, but Nintendo being involved as well, trying to make sure Mario is not absolutely obliterated by them, is still scary. Yes, Takashi Iizuka is a supervisor on the Sonic movies, but he doesn't really have final say. Remember the design, remember the choices that are still made with him that they didn't approve of. Doesn't matter. They'll take his input, doesn't mean they have to listen to it. The Sonic movies are Paramount's thing, not Sega's thing. Sega is not involved at all, leading for the creators to do whatever they want. They don't have to listen to Sega, they don't have to take their input. With the Mario movie, however, it's a different story. They do have to listen to Shigeru Miyamoto and Nintendo in some cases, because they are also making and funding and producing some of this movie. Not to mention, Nintendo also has that giant tie to Comcast, and they have mutual interest in making both brands as big as possible to promote theme parks, movie, merchandising, etc. Nintendo and Miyamoto's involvement does not make me excited, it makes me scared, because they are now taking away whatever potential creativity or differences could have been made with Mario completely away. I know I haven't talked about the cast much, which might be kind of weird because that's the talk of the town, but genuinely, that's not what scares me the most, even at all. In fact, that might be the best part. Like I said, being part of the video game side of the internet, kind of, a lot of emphasis is put on the cast. That is obviously a big thing. You want to see who's playing characters, and I think a lot of people are excited for that, but video game fans and people who are attached to these franchises take that into account more than they should. They should be taking into account the directors, the writers, those people, the producers, the people making the movie, more than they should the cast. Because they are actors. They can change their performance up. They can do different voices than their normal voice in an interview. That is their job. Chris Pratt isn't Guardians of the Galaxy. Charlie Day isn't It's Always Sunny 24/7. I actually would like for him to be like that in the movie. Keegan-Michael Key isn't always going to be Key and Peele. They're all different actors and actresses, and their part of their job is to act. And it's an incredibly talented cast, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. People are raising a big issue with it. I don't think that's an issue at all. So you might have expected for me to absolutely slander the Mario movies cast in this movie, because everybody has, but that's not my issue. I think it's great, and honestly expected, because it is an Illumination movie based off of a huge franchise. I think I've talked enough about this. I think I've covered all of my ground in the best way I could. I know I probably talked more about Mario than I did in Sonic, but it's kind of the way I needed to frame it in order to get the point across that Sonic is just going to blow this out of the water in terms of its actual quality. It's going to be a much better movie than the Mario movie, but I do stand by the fact that I think Mario will make probably over $1 billion, if I'm being honest. Maybe not $1 billion because of the state of the world, but it will make a lot of money, probably more than Sonic. We'll see, man. This is going to be a crazy one. I'm looking forward to both, maybe not in the same ways of both movies, but I'm going to see both, and I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think. What do you think will be better, the Sonic movie or the Mario movie? Also, what do you think will make more money? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Sonic will make more than Mario? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow me on social media, links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those for behind the scenes look at my life, future content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the best place on YouTube for all Sonic the Hedgehog content. We talk about video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, and more. The Sonic movie is coming out next year, and it's not that far away in relation to next year, so we're going to be getting a trailer probably before the end of the year, and a bunch of stuff after that, so stay tuned for all the coverage. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for this movie. I love all you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.